Good morning from a very cold, but it looks like quite sunny Derbyshire. I'm in the workshop here of Peak2CV, one of my followers. Welcome to my latest video. This is a short one. I spent a few days in my house before setting off again to head back to England for Christmas. I hope you enjoy the video. Home last night in the dark. It's cold here. I've put 3 panels out. I need to correct the angle. Leaves have gone off my fruit trees. The fig, the mulberry, and I've forgotten what the third one is already. I've opened the house, but I've not really done anything other than just connect this bluety, which has got 68%, which is quite surprising. Usually when they get cold they just dump all their charge. Also, my gas bottle in the camper ran out yesterday evening, so I changed it over in the dark. It's not a problem. Had the heating on in case it dropped low enough that all the water would be dumped. Well, it's lovely to be back behind the wheel of the Diane again. Started straight away. Good girl. 5 weeks without being touched. Just a splash of petrol in the air filter and it fired up, pulled the petrol through, and away we went. You can see very autumnal colours. I'm just off to do a bit of shopping and get a replacement gas bottle for my hot water. When I drove in last night, I thought the leaves had all gone, but no, they've started the pruning. Here a couple of days, 3 or 4 days, most of the week in fact. I think I arrived on Monday or maybe Tuesday, I can't remember. It's Saturday morning, the house is put away and I'm about to start. It's just 8 degrees, it feels warmer because there's no wind so far. I can see the Pyrenees with the snow on them. I don't suppose you can see it on the left there. But I can see Canigou, which is the highest part of the Pyrenees. Doesn't look like any more snow's fallen this week. But yeah, I'm off. I say I'm going to go easy stages. So first to visit my friend Steve, spend a few days there, and then head back to England, maybe taking at least 2, maybe 3, maybe 4 days. I suppose it's partly dependent on the weather. And I think I probably had the best of it here. It rained for about 10 minutes last night, woke me up, and I just got a bit worried because if it does rain heavily, I sometimes can't get the camper out on this track because it gets muddy the last bit. But the rain stopped very, very quickly, so there's no evidence of it now. So I had nothing to worry about. I went back to sleep, woke up at 8:30, and now, what is the time? It's just 9:49. Having breakfast. Let the adventure commence. I've just got rid of my recycling. The Cadian there, just don't see many in the wild anymore. Doesn't look like that's been driven for a while though. It's filled up like a wheelie bin. Just got to get back on the slightly larger road. Hopefully it doesn't get any narrower. Well, it didn't get narrower, it just ran out, became a gravel track. So I've luckily managed to find, there was a sort of fork in the road, so I managed to turn around there. Rather than retracing my footsteps. The sat-nav seemed to indicate that there was a road that went double round to the main road, but obviously it didn't. So now I'm on a road that I will never visit again. Overlooking a road that's, I think I should have gone right there, but that's not tarmac either. Anyway, going back down into Hotel de Corbière. Get back on the main road, and then I think I know exactly where the route the sat-nav will take me. From here to where Steve lives in Tufai, I probably do more than any other road nowadays, because when I go north I try and go a different route every time, but I often go to Steve's because he's under 300 kilometres away. There aren't actually that many different alternative routes. So there they are, back past the Cat d'Yan. And back on the road I was on when I saw the recycling bins. Trees are gradually losing their leaves, aren't they? So it won't be long before these are just bare. But obviously they don't need to give shade at this time of year. There's a CX. Yeah, you don't need shade at this time of year because it's still only 8 degrees. So it's not raining. Where I'm going to apparently is raining at the moment. Yeah, it's not that here, but the sun came out for a few minutes around dawn and then disappeared. I quite like this village. It looks like a, well, it's not Provençal, but it does look like it's in the south of France, and I like on the paving stones here is the Oxtown Cross. Don't know whether you caught that or not. Christmas lights are up, but not on. It's the 6th of December. There's a certain beauty, of course, in the colours of this time of year. I don't like the dark, I don't like the weather, but the colours are pretty, and it does give a different aspect to places where often they're sharp, harsh sunshine and really dark shadows. So yeah, there's a certain something. Another quite pretty village. Can't remember what it's called, of course. There's a market on there. It's a bit of a snug fit, some of these bits, because I've been here with lorries coming the other way. It's quite an elegant place. Is it Les Corbière? I can't remember. If I do remember, I'll put a caption up. road, and it's only in sections now. There is one section somewhere around here that's about 4 or 5 kilometres or more, but most of them are just in patches like that. You can see the vines. Some of the vines have been pruned, some of them have lost all their leaves, some of them are just about clinging on to their leaves. That one on the left there has been partially pruned and partially not. Well, there's not a lot of traffic on the road, cyclists out. I've had a few spots of rain. There's an H-van on the right. It's been there years. I don't suppose that's going anywhere ever again. I'm in the southeast at the moment, and I'm now in the southwest. That line goes from there due north through Paris and basically to Dunkirk. So I will be in the west of France now until I leave, I think. Yeah, as unlikely I'll cross back to the east. Bizarrely, after saying at the sat-nav that I know this route really well, the sat-nav has decided to take me a different route, which is really strange because I'm started off in the same place, I'm heading for the same place, and instead of taking me on the same route it's done solidly for the last 18 months, it's taking me on a slightly different route. I know Steve has moved, he's in the same village, and he lives now about 400 or 500 metres from where he used to live, maybe less than that. It's the only thing I can think of. Anyway, I'm going on a road, I have been going on a road I haven't driven for many, many years, between Carcassonne and Toulouse. But it does look like I'm about to turn off now from this road to get round the north side of Toulouse. This, by the way, is Castelnaudary, which is a big port on the Canal du Midi, and yeah, it's quite an attractive town. I'm going off and heading, I presume, to Revel. I think I know what this road is. I think I'm coming towards Revel, and just before I get there I turn left. Normally the sat-nav would have brought me through Revel and then I would have turned right. So I think that's what's going to be. It's just over a kilometre to the junction, so I think I've worked out from there on I should be on the road I know fairly well, probably, but who knows. The Garmin sat-nav has a mind of its own, and just randomly sometimes does things I don't expect. I'm still a bit confused. If you're going from A to B 10 times, why does a computer change it? I suppose maybe it knows if there's a road that's out of action that it's taking me around. I think it's connected to my phone, so I think sometimes it does if there's traffic, or maybe say roadworks that have been for a long while. But it's a bit of a mystery because it doesn't tell me, it just does it. And then sometimes you find yourself somewhere where you didn't expect to be. But yeah, I'm going to go left here. This is the junction I thought it was. As I say, maybe from now on it will be familiar roads. Road, by the way, is going to take me around the north of Toulouse, because I don't really want to go through the middle of Toulouse, and I don't want to go round the... It's a big city with an airport and manufactures aeroplanes there, so it's a big industrial place now that I'd rather avoid. Nope, my Garmin's thrown another not spanner in the works, because I don't know, this might be a better route, but suddenly I turned off the road I thought I'd be staying on, and it's taken me onto a little back road. So I have no idea where I'm going. It still looks like I'm skirting around the north of Toulouse, but today it's taken me on a magical mystery tour. The magical mystery tour continues. I don't think I've ever been on this road. I don't think I've been on the last road, so it's well, it's interesting doing something different, because I thought I'd just be going on exactly the same road that I've been on every time before, and I'm not. So it's I suppose an improvement, as long as it doesn't take any longer, the journey. Although I'm not in any hurry, so it doesn't really matter if it does. But yeah, so it's interesting. It's interesting. It's noon, so I shall think about pulling over somewhere to have some lunch. And I thought also I'd probably see fewer of these avenues of plane trees, but instead there have been loads of them. Maybe some of the road that I would have not expected to be on has been disrupted by the motorway construction. Possibly. Anyway, on the left is a new motorway. I forget this number. It might even be the A86, but it's being constructed, and it progresses every time I come past. There's a little bit more done. It's on the sat nav now, but it's shown just as white lines because it isn't open. I don't know when it's due to open, but presumably it replaces this road, which is called the N126. You can see on the left all the roadworks for this new autoroute. There was lunch done in a lay-by, not particularly scenic, but on the other hand the road is quiet because it's Saturday lunchtime, so it was alright. Now back to the road, and I expect the rest of the journey will be familiar, but who knows? It's been a day of surprises so far, so it might continue that way. Anyway, as you can see, fairly dull, fairly grey, but not raining. On we go. Well, the rain has started, it's not heavy. There we are, Tarn-et-Garonne, which is the department I'm going to finish in tonight, so probably no more. Yeah, the rain, it's not heavy, but there's no sunshine, it's just cloud from horizon to horizon. Not a wonderfully scenic journey so far on this bit. Anyway, I have an hour and a bit to go. Well, my sat nav continued to surprise. I don't recognise this. Maybe it's because of the weather, the season, but normally I'm quite good at remembering places I've been through, so no, I think it's not going on the normal route at all. I think this will be a completely different, well, 90% different route to one I've used before, which is a good thing. It'd be nice if it was more scenic scenery, but you can't have everything. But at least it's not repetitive. So I will thank the sat-nav for that. The rain has been on and off, hasn't been heavy. So, no, all in all, I've got just under an hour to go, and it's quite a peaceful journey. The traffic's not bad, hardly any lorries. Not much more to report. So, over and out. This is the outskirts of Montauban, and I'm about to cross the river. I think this must be the Tarn. Crossed a big river a little while ago. I'm pretty certain it is the Tarn. Doesn't say. Strange, because nearly every bridge used to tell you the name of the river you were going over. Old Montauban's off to my right. And in a little while I shall cross the Aveyron as well, which is another sort of famous river in France, but it's quite small when it flows into the Tarn or the Garonne, whichever this river is I've just crossed. Oh, it's the Tarn. Just seeing the sign on my right as you leave the bridge saying that's the Tarn. The majority of French departments are named after rivers. I used to live in the department of Calvados, which is the only French department named after an alcoholic beverage, because in the northeast there isn't a department called the Champagne. There's a region called the Champagne, but it's not a department. Yeah, and I lived in Cognac, which is a spirit distilled from cider, which is obviously made from apples. As I say, the majority are named after rivers or in connection with rivers, because sometimes this is the other department was Haute-Garonne, so the high part, which means upstream. So there used to be a department called the Seine Inférieure, the inferior Seine, but that was changed to Seine Maritime, because in the beginning, I suppose, inferior meant lower, as in it was the lower part of the river, not the high part of the river. But someone obviously took objection to it eventually, and it was changed to maritime rather than inferior. There is somewhere, I've been past it a couple of times, a sign, one of the painted concrete signs that still has Seine Inferior on it, on a little back road. I've filmed it as well. Couldn't tell you where it was, not until I'm about 100 yards away, and then suddenly remember that I'm about to pass it. Anyway, that was Montauban. I'm leaving Montauban now. You're going to think this entire route, or most of the route, was flanked by plane trees. That's not the case. It's just that most of the time when I see an avenue of plane trees, I do film them because I love them. It's just something that's very particular to France. You don't really see it in England. There are some places where you have trees lining the roads, but not like this. I believe they were planted to assist the French army to march around France to put down insurrections and so on. It's a bit wet and muddy, so I managed to be there at Steve's place, where and Tufai is getting up ready for its Christmas fair tomorrow. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. See you again soon. Bye bye.